Today we're going to talk a little bit. This was a request, by the way, from one of our clients. So it's in regards to kind of like what's happening in the marketplace right now. And I covered this a few times in the past, but maybe today is going to be a little bit more in depth. But what we're seeing a lot in the marketplace is a big trust recession. Is a big, sense of people feeling like they don't have the ability to trust other agencies anymore because they've been burned in the past, whether it's for so many different niches, so many different industries. So this model, I believe is the future of it, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to eliminate all the people who kind of suck, and it's going to bring up the people who are really, really good in the marketplace, right? That's why one of the most important things we tell you guys is, skill sets are everything. Who you become, the person that you become, not only personally, but also business-wise, right? Marketing, sales, operations, client fulfillment, all the pieces that it takes to build a business. It's very important because, it just gives you an edge over everybody else. It just basically weeds out people who are the fakers, and it brings up the people who are really good. So in my opinion, I think this is a great thing. So all this trust factor, all these problems that people have, I think it's a very good thing, right? Because, again, if you bet on yourself, if you bet on your skill set, you're going to win long term, right? If you're here for the long term, you're going to win. And I know all you guys, of course, for us to even work with you guys have that mentality to be able to work long term. So with that, we've adopted a little bit of, the client acquisition system, a little bit from just getting people to, for example, being just booking a call, let's show up and let's just go from there, right? Versus now it's like, all right, we get leads, right? Opt-ins, which is like name, number, emails. And then we have a lead nurturing system before they even hop on a call with us, right? So we're like a lot of the heavy lifting is being done while we're sleeping, while we're not even like actually on the call. Because a lot of time, 9 times out of 10, you hop on a call, even if the prospect has the funds, they're ready to go. At the end, trust. I don't trust you guys. I've just seen you guys yesterday. I need to do my due diligence, and they never come back. They're gone, right? So it's like, how can we be in a place, especially as you guys want to start scaling, right? Because chances are you probably don't just, some people have different goals, but a lot of the people here want to build a big business, around 100K a month, for example. Well, for that, you need team members. So if you're able, if you have a closer that you're giving all these leads to who don't end up closing, well, what's going to happen, especially if they're commission only? They're just going to leave, right? Because they're not making money. They have a family to feed. They have bills to pay as well. So how can you make their life easier and your life easier? Because not only are you going to be able to, get more revenue and more cash up front, but also less chance of refunds, less chance of people not getting the wins that they need to get. Because the best form of marketing is your client wins, is your client success. Okay, that's the number one. Like, you can, no matter what, all these people do awards, they do all these different things. It's like, relax, just help your clients win. They're going to be the best. It's going to be the best form of marketing you can ever get. So, with that being said, this model is, it's built on like a community aspect as well, which is like a Facebook group, or could be a school group, or it could be a LinkedIn group, right? Whatever platform that you choose to use, right? I know some people here have really, really big LinkedIn following as well, or Instagram following, whatever it is. The idea is to have some sort of a platform where you nurture people. So you send people in, you nurture them with some of the content that you can have, and then from there, they're able to close themselves. Okay? That's the idea behind it. So whether you choose to use a Facebook group, LinkedIn, school, all these different types, or, you can even have a Telegram group, WhatsApp, whatever you choose to use, the principles and the idea is the exact same, right? So, the biggest thing that we currently teach, and it still works, by the way, this is just an add-on, and this is just like more of a futuristic kind of planning, where it's like, instead of getting people to book in a call with you, you get them to, you tell them what to offer, you tell them about everything. And instead of the call to action being like, hey, just book in a call, well, now it's like, hey, just join my free private Facebook group community of like-minded individuals, right? Put them in there. And now, because all these people are skeptical, so in there, you have content coming in, right? So paid ads is usually the way to go. You can do organic. You can use Moose Street strategy, right? You get a free VA for 45 days. They work with you full time, to try to get people from maybe other groups. If you want to, you can do a little bit of that organic outreach as well. But you need to fill your group with people who are the right type of buyers, right? Again, it's not just randomly filling with anyone. We want the right type of buyers. And 9 times out of 10, again, organic can absolutely work. We just personally prefer paid ads, right? Because it's like intent is everything, right? We can tell Facebook we want people who are ready to go right now, who are ready to swipe their credit card right now and, go to the next step. So for us, that's key. So we would just like launch, Facebook ads when it comes to our Facebook group and just put people inside of the Facebook group. A strategy that worked really, really well for us versus, there's different types of, people who do different marketing for Facebook groups. For us, at least, was being extremely like upfront, extremely aggressive with this is our offer, this is what we do, but you can't even book in a call. It's like, hey, the call to action is just join my free private Facebook group to see everything for yourself. So the idea was to establish a lot of claims, a lot of bold things, but then put the ball back in their court because no one wants to feel like they're being forced to make a decision, right? We're making all these claims, but can we actually back it up? Well, now we're just giving the client the chance or the lead the chance to say, hey, just you go into yourself, you make the decision for yourself, right? So instead of us force, again, nobody wants to be forced for anything, right? So that was the structure and the strategy that we did. Again, there's different ways you can do a kind of like a free lead magnet. A lead magnet is something where it's like a guide or a video or like a mini course, for example, of like your structure, your strategy, right? So for example, if you're helping roofers get leads, you can have a quick little 3-part mini course, like 15 minutes each video, like a 45-minute long mini course on like, here's how you get leads if you want to do it yourself. Again, in there, the most important thing that you're basically establishing is you're competent, you're good at what you do, you can get the results that you want, and you're just establishing trust. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to go out and actually get the leads themselves, right? They just want to see, like, are you credible? And again, you just do this once, and people are just consuming that. They're buying into the process and the vehicle and the system before they become a purchasing client. Because the worst thing is you get a client, and then they come in on board, and they're like, oh man, this is not what I was looking for, though. You know what I mean? Whose fault is that? It's not the client's fault. It's the business owner's fault, right? There was something that was missed. So it's like, let's just draw the line in the sand and put the people, who are not good fits, they can leave. People who are good fits, people who subscribe to the mentality and the structure and the strategy that you have to offer to the marketplace is exactly what they need. Well, let's just get more of those people. And all this is happening automated. You're just sleeping. All these people are coming in. They're watching the mini course. From there, once they, in their minds, they kind of like raise their hands and then they book in the call, right? So it's all permission based. It's never forcing anyone, right? It's all permission based. So you can have a mini course there. Any kind of lead magnet works. It could, you guys can even do like, hey, join the free private Facebook group. You can have a live stream every single week. So it's like, hey, hop on with me personally. I'll be doing a live stream every single week. Whatever it is, whatever your kind of like hook is, just put that in. That's kind of the carrot that you're giving these people to be able to join the private community of whatever your liking is, right? So that's how you basically fill the group. And again, every specific piece that I'm talking about, the media buying, the ad copies, the landing page, the Facebook ads, everything is already inside of the curriculum that we have. Or I can also answer any questions at the end when it comes to like specifically, kind of like filling the group. If you guys have any questions in regards to that. But so far, is this all making sense, guys? Yeah? Have any burning questions right now, or are we good to move on to the next? Jennifer, by the way, I know you requested this training in the beginning. If you can, I'll send you the recording. Just go through the beginning first piece as well. I think it's pretty important for you, but yeah.
Hey, sir, thank you. I'm so sorry. I had an appointment with my son, so I'm driving. That's why I have my camera off. But I finally am on. People definitely listen to the very beginning.
No problem.
I didn't want to ask a question because I figured it might have already been covered.
Okay, no worries at all. Like I said, I'll open up the floor for any questions towards the end. But anything specific when it comes to like getting the right type of people, because this is a big thing for people, right? It's like, well, I can do the Facebook group, I can put all these resources, I can put all these things, but how do I actually get people to join the group, right? So do you guys have any specific questions on organic or paid when it comes to that?
I have a question. It's more so for a client that we have. So we have a touch point with her coming up on Monday, and she shared because I'm concerned. She's getting some leads. We're doing paid ads for her through social media, but she's kind of sharing. I guess she's been at some conferences, and she's like, you know what? I keep hearing that people are saying I should do the organic side first and, get some wins before I start spending money on ads. And like, I mean, we kind of know what we're going to tell her, but any other ammunition that you can share. So when we're actually having these conversations with her, I'll just kind of keep that in the back of my mind. Like, for example, like I think her cost per booking right now is like $35. It's something really low. And she's a coach. But I guess she's just talking to people and she's getting like worried, like, okay, I should be doing more organic outreach versus paid, or maybe I should just be doing a little bit more organic and get some wins, get some bookings or close customers before I actually spend money on paid ads.
So how's she getting the $35 booked calls if she's not spending money?
So she is right now. She is. Oh. She's been running. So we've been running her ads for about a month now. Okay. But I don't know where this is coming from. She's kind of, I guess she's getting
shiny. It's just shiny object syndrome, to be honest with you. I mean, has she closed any deals from the paid ads for 35?
So that's where we're kind of stepping in, trying to also give her some feedback. Hey, like, this is what you need to do in terms of best practice. Make sure that you have some more availability, because she only has like 3 days out of the week where she's actually available for limited time. So, we're giving her feedback as to what you should do to try to close these deals. But
well, okay. Do you know roughly how many? Let's just take a look at the numbers. How much ad spend has she put up? How many booked calls? How many show ups? Or how many? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just say it was like around $800, and half of that was going towards scheduling calls. The other half was towards getting her people's emails through like a lead magnet. Right. So it was only like $400 that she had spent.
So, okay, 400 divided by 35, that's 11 calls. So what happened to the 11 calls?
So, yeah. So I don't know how many no-showed. We kind of didn't want to go down that route either, to put something in her mind. And so I don't know how many no-showed. Let's just say half, maybe half no-showed.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened to the other 5?
So there was one that she had, and they're really excited to close. And she's getting ready to close them. She charged them, and unfortunately, the card bounced back. And
what was the amount?
The long story short, the person thought it was like $39.95, and it was 3,000, whatever, right? 3,995. So anyways, I mean, she laughed it off. It was at the beginning of when she first started.
Okay, just that alone, Rifa, just that alone. I mean, if I was to make a decision, it's like literally there's some sort of issue with the sales process. Because like no one in their right mind, unless that person was like really like off mentally, no one in their right minds would assume, or think of, $3,900 or $39 is the same. There's clearly some big hole there. And I would probably say it's the offer owner of not explaining things properly. No one tells us like, oh, it's going to be this is like 1% of what the amount is. Like, that's really weird. You know what I mean? So there's probably some sort of sales thing. I will say if 5 showed up, at least 1 should have been closed in the agency space, because 20% close rate is, 20% is pretty low, but at least 20% close rate should be there. So one of them should have closed. Do you know how many offers she made?
No. So I guess with that said, right, we didn't dig in to see how many, one no-showed, and I don't know how many offers she made either. So.
I'm curious, you said something where you didn't want to ask her that. Why not?
I mean, I guess we don't want to plant in her head that these are bad leads, because it doesn't seem like they're bad leads. Like, it seems like she's actually getting good leads. So that's the reason why we didn't want to necessarily go down that route, because I think
the thing is, like, you got to have their best interest, right? So sometimes it's like, yeah, you're getting good leads. Like, we tell people all the time, and will we lose the deal? Sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you have enough client acquisition, like, at the end of the day, you'll be very successful, right? So it's kind of like making sure you do the right thing for the client. But 9 times out of 10, even if they're getting good leads, well, there's some sort of issue there. 100%. Like, if they spend $400, they're getting $35 a book call for the coaching space. That's insane. That's insane. And if 5 showed up, it's like, oh, like you have a 7-figure business. If they know what they're doing, they're just going to spend more, close deals. Joanna, you have something?
I do, because oddly enough, I used to be an editor for a magazine, and my English is not very good. But I did an interview on a business coach here in my town. And they actually took basically an amount at like for no show. Does that person have that? So like I guess when they book that call, they have to make, especially if it's 3,900, like a certain amount that they have to kind of put down to even book her time. It's even like my doctor's office does it, that if I don't show up to an appointment, they charge me $50, which is way more than my copay. And she actually had them pay ahead of time, like however much, $50, $100 for that booked time slot. And then if they don't show up to that, she at least gets some money, because that shows that they really are interested in that. And there's no questioning as far as that it's $39 or $3,900. And they want that money, they don't want to lose that money. I don't know if that
definitely you can, yeah, I mean, you can definitely incorporate something like that. It's called a no-show fee. Personally, I mean, we should probably test it out. I know some of my friends have tested out, and some of it works, but I don't know. It's just something we haven't personally done. I would say one thing though, when you're in the beginning, like if she's only spent $400, I wouldn't have any sort of resistance for the buyers ever, because you're just trying to see if the marketing is going to work. If like the calls that are showing up, are they actually like? I'll tell you guys, we launched a new offer. It's similar to Launch My Agencies, but it's even more for like it's like for very beginners. Literally, there's some people showing up. They're like, "Oh, is this a fruit business?" And we're like, "Oh man, okay, this is interesting." You know what I mean? We're spending like $3,500, $4K a day on that. By the way, we just launched it like 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. We have someone that we're teaching them, income. This is what income means. So we're Google definition, and we're like, hey, here's what an income means. So it's like, in the beginning, you're probably going to get shit leads. Not all the time, but in the beginning, it kind of happens because Facebook's just trying to adapt, right? And a big thing you guys really need to understand, sorry if you guys heard the dogs, but a big thing for you to understand is Facebook is not made, the platform is not made for business owners, for people like us. It's not made for leads. It's made for e-commerce stores. Its job is to give them the lowest costs for what they're looking for, right? So when Facebook uses the same methodology and the same structure for us, what that does is it just gives us the bottom of the barrel, the really shit leads or the really bad quality people, because it's thinking that it's giving you leads, it's doing a great job because it's trying to make sure you spend more money. But you need to be good enough, or the media buyer, whoever it is, need to be good enough to try to force the right type of people in understanding how the algorithm works, right? To try to get the right type of people coming in versus just anyone coming in. Does that make sense? So if you incorporate like a no-show fee, well, now you're just the buyer's resistance is just going up and up. And it's like, they're going to probably have to spend a lot more to see if that campaign or their business is going to be actually profitable or not. So I would not incorporate that until you're like, you have multiple closers maybe, and then now people are no-showing, then you can start to incorporate that and you don't have a problem with getting leads or getting booked calls. But 9 times out of 10 in the beginning, everyone has an issue of like getting booked calls, getting leads. So that's why it's like resistance-wise, let's just lower it and just let the, just kind of like let Facebook do its magic. So, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I'm just trying to, get prepared for the call if there's any other additional things I should be bringing up or that I'm not maybe thinking about.
Yeah, a big reason why we want to ask good questions for these people is because in B2B, right, agency owners specifically, a lot of times people have big egos, and you just asking questions is eliminating the ego, right? So like you see the help on, they just try to control the conversation. It's like, oh, no worries. We start asking them these questions. It's like, okay, they don't know their stuff. 9 times out of 10, they don't know their stuff, right? It's like, what's your show rate? Oh, okay. Wait, what about true versus net show rate? I mean, that's you know what I mean? It's like these small little things like, well, what does that mean? And now you're the expert, right? So it's like, I wouldn't I know what you're doing. It makes sense logically, but personally speaking, I would not shy away from asking them these questions or positioning things a certain way. Just go for it. Be the expert. Speak from your heart. And people will, the right type of people will close.
I guess when we bring up that question about the show rate, right? What is that like average show rate? I guess in the industry, like what would be considered not good?
That's a really hard question to answer. So many moving pieces, right? So it's like, okay, the more sophisticated the audience, usually, typically, the better the show rate's going to be. But you're also going to spend more money on ads to be able to acquire that type of person because they usually spend more money. The lesser sophisticated the person is, the more likely they are to not show up, right? Because again, money is just a direct representation of how we live our life, the habits that we have. So like really understanding that is also very important. So as, for example, I don't want to bring anyone down, but like if you're looking for like blue collar workers, right? If you're working with them, for example, well, they're probably more likely to no show you. That's just the nature of it. But if you're working with like really high end white collar individuals, they're less likely to not show up. Like they're more likely to show up. Understanding that dynamic, right? In terms of specific numbers, I'd consider anything above a 75% for agency offers is pretty good. The less sophisticated you get, the more worse it becomes. But there's other ways to optimize that as well, right? So we can do something called double bookings. If you have a show rate less than 50%, just double book them to make sure that your closer is always, or yourself, you're always going to be on some sort of call. So 70-ish% I'd say is a pretty decent show rate for B2B. And then also what happens is it depends on the fluctuations of the economic times we're in. Right now we're going through elections. This is going to be interesting. This is just what it is. People are kind of like stuck up. That's just what it's going to be. So kind of buckle up, right? When it comes to like, for example, Sundays, like typically like our call volume drops. Why? Because people are watching NFL, they're spending time with their families. But then, on Monday or Tuesday when they're back, then our call volume goes a lot higher, and we just make up for that Sunday, right? And then also the show rate. So if it's a holiday, they're less likely to show up on the call. But over time, it should be around that 70-ish% mark. So don't take one. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because like a lot of people, and myself included, when we were first in business, we would like take one day, we'd be like, oh my God, what's going on today? It's not good. And then 2 days later, it's like so amazing. We're like, oh, so happy. And then the next day is like average. We're like, what's going, you know what I mean? So it's just like, as a business owner, you need to like understand over time, make a decision based on 7 days, 14 days, a month versus that single individual thing. So that's the structure of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So yeah, we'll get into the next piece of the Facebook group model. So like once you figure out how to fill your Facebook group, next piece is making sure that you're indoctrinating the people and you're doing lead nurture. That's a whole different division. Like at this point in our company, we have a whole team that's all they do is just lead nurture. In the beginning, it could just be you, right? You don't have many leads, for example. You could just be the person who's sending them out a personalized video, a personalized message, right? Sending them free value, resources, something to kind of like really show that you actually care about these people, right? A lot of time, like a lot of you guys are here because we were able to do that. We were able to show ourselves like, man, like in your guys' mind, probably you're like, these guys care about me a lot. And you need to have the same structure for your people, for your leads. Because again, think of it from their perspective. They are not booking in a call with you only. They have 5, 6, 7 calls maybe booked onto their calendar with similar people who do things like you, right? But again, it's always establishing. Remember I think we talked about this last week or the week before, where I think it was on the sales call actually, or the sales clinic that we had, is really establishing yourself as that you have no competition. You are one of one, you're unique, and you're superior. And that also translates into your lead nurturing process, right? So like giving them this sort of customer service or this type of value before they even hop on a call with you, that demonstrates professionalism. That demonstrates that you're actually really, really good and that you actually care, which means that they're more likely to show up on the call, right? And when they show up to the call, they're more likely to take you seriously as well. They're more likely to show up in a way where you're already framed as the leader. And there are, again, it's not below or anything like that in a weird way, but it's like they're here for a reason. You're kind of like the doctor and they're the patient. That's the structure that we have to have. So focusing in on that, you can use your group or school community or again, LinkedIn, whatever platform that you choose to use, is having that type of material in there, tagging them personally, right? It's like, hey, thought this would be a really good match for you based on the information you shared with me or whatever that you're doing. So, and also like in the beginning, it's kind of like, if you have less leads, you do more of this. When you start having more leads, then you kind of like start doing less because, you have other responsibilities. But if they're, for example, you just go to their Facebook profile, it's like if they're a Bears fan, just make a little joke about that. Now you have them like, interested in, Oh, in a conversation, right? You can now DM set them for yourself. You can send them a free resource, send them a quick video, in regards to that. And because the context, again, everything is about context of how they came into the group, right? It's all about that. It's like, this is how, this is what the struggle, this is what their pain point was. This is who the ideal person was. They're already interested in becoming a client. Like that's the whole idea of running these ads for high intent people who are interested in booking with you. So now you bring them in, and when you can establish a little bit of rapport in the beginning, now their guard just goes down, and now you're just a friend. Not a friend like that, but just like it's a conversation versus like a weird sales pitch or sales tactic, right? It's just a conversation, and people will spend money with people they trust. So getting that content in there and specific strategy or specific structure on how to do the content piece of things when it comes to your Facebook group was like this, explain, really like selling them. Everything is a sale in life, right? So selling them on the vehicle and on the method that you have to offer is key, right? Versus selling them on yourself. That's what the sales call is for, right? Your main job is to get them on the calendar with you by them having the right type of context on what your company is, what it does, and them showing up with the right type of frame in their mind when it comes to the call. So whatever content that you think is necessary, whether it's a video, whether it's a written kind of like a post, right? Joanna, I know you write a lot of these posts, but it's really like what it is and why is it important for you, right? You can also go a little bit into the how if you like, but typically we like to position the how for what they're going to pay us, right? So what is it and why is it important for you, right? That's the first thing. And then the how is going to be, this is how we're going to do it, which is basically for the sales call, which is what they're going to pay us for. So that's the structure of the content, right? So it's like, okay, now if we go a little bit deeper, objection handling. So what are the most common objections that you get on the sales call? Well, that's what the post is going to be about. That's what the video is going to be about. So you're pre-handling these objections before they even pop into the sales call, because you want to have the least amount of friction on the sales calls, right? So objection handling, maybe selling people on the method, on the vehicle, on the unique mechanism that you have to offer, right? That your offer is unique. You have to sell them on that, right? That this is different, superior, more irresistible than anything that you have ever seen before. This is the method that they need to be able to go from currently where they're at to currently where they want to go the quickest, fastest, and most efficient way. And you're just selling them on that, not yourself yet, just on that specifically. And now they're like, man, this is interesting. How do I learn more? Well, if you want to learn more, just go ahead and book in a quick 5-10 minute call with either myself or my team. We'll be able to see if we can even help you. You position it like that, now they're like, sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. I had a question for you. Can I ask a quick question here?
Sure.
You're saying that prior to the call, right, that we're supposed to objection handle. Did I understand that correctly? Like have a video that handles like common objections?
100%. Even what you can do is you can even go as far as in the emails and just like kind of like set up an autoresponder as well. So all your main common questions, you can just have that answered inside of the email and then have that video linked in. So anytime a new lead comes in, it's automatically just sending it to them without you even, again, your salesperson is your email marketing. Your salesperson is your setter. Your salesperson is your Facebook group. It's already indoctrinating and objection handling for you in advance before they even show up to the closing call.
So help me understand where, I guess typically you talk to these folks, right? And in my previous calls, like they were talking to them, we're understanding, and I guess maybe that's where you're saying like the discovery call. We have that discovery call, we're getting their pain points. Are you saying that after that discovery call, we have this video that is
before? They shouldn't even be able to show up to the call without having that information, because you want your sales process to be as easy. And the ideal goal is to make it or as like you're just taking an order, right? When you go to a restaurant, do they have to sell you on like, hey, here's the meal? Well, it has this, it's organic. No, you're the one who's just like, hey, can I just get this? Right? That's the idea of what we want to strive towards. It's not going to happen, by the way. It's just to make it clear, it will never ever happen like that. There's always going to be objections. But if you can make it in your mind to be that North Star for the vision that you want, right? So you're going to take the actions that are necessary to help you, not only you, but also your salesperson if you want to, if you want to scale. so that you have a more attractive offer than anyone else, and you can actually get the right type of people. Their job becomes easier, right? More money is made, and it's just a win-win for everyone.
But like,
so before, yeah.
If you're customizing your offer, right, for prospects that are coming in, like how do you handle their objections without knowing what you're going to be presenting to them, like as a custom offer? Does that make sense? Like,
no.
So like, how would I know what their objections are? Yeah, maybe there's like a handful of like FAQs or whatever that people ask, right? But if I don't know what this prospect is looking to do, they provide custom solutions, right? How would I handle an objection without actually understanding where they're at with their business, if that makes sense?
Very good question. Okay, so your business is like, remember how we talked about like when you're coming up with your offer, it's the structure and the structure is the same for everyone. So even if you take a look at, for example, Launch My Agency's offer, right? So it's like, all right, we work with people that literally like 54 different niches that our clients are in, right? So technically it's different. However, the principles and the structure is the exact same, right? What is it? Client acquisition. Okay, how do you do that? Organic or paid ads. For everyone, it's the same structure, but the offer packaging is different for those people. Does that make sense? But everyone still needs an offer. Everyone still needs a landing page. Everyone still needs paid media or organic media or organic marketing to be able to acquire clients. Everyone needs to sell, right? Even if they're e-commerce, if they're selling, if they're doing e-commerce services or like they're trying to sell for e-commerce store owners versus like lawyers, completely different industries. But at the end of the day, it's still a sales call. It's still a tool call process. Does that make sense? So like the structure and the principle never really changes, but the specific details do change. So that's where the customization comes in. But your optimum selling system needs to be really in place when it comes to the principles and the structure, or else you cannot scale, right? Because if you're truly like everything is completely custom, well then, not only are you kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you don't know if that's going to work for them, right? Like client success is also part of like you knowing this exact thing will work for the client. We just need to customize it specifically based on their business. And you don't need to have the content and actually you probably don't want to have that before they hop on a call, because then you're just giving them like, you're just telling them exactly what to do. And why do they need you for that, right? But instead it's like you're selling them on the vehicle and the system and the mechanism of this is what we're going to do. And then we're going to customize it. And that's what you're going to pay us for, the customizations for your specific business.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yes. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Any other questions on the content side of things? Okay, so you can also supercharge this. And, again, the idea is not to have you guys do all this work. But, at the end of the day, it's like, what's the 10% that can move the 90% for you? With this model, it's like the lead cost goes down. And, I remember right now our lead cost is like about $60 a lead. But our lead cost for this model specifically is about, I think it's like 26, 27. So it's less than half, right? The only con to this is like it's a little bit of a longer buying cycle, right? But at the end of the day, it's like more cash up front, better quality leads, better quality people coming in, right? So it's kind of like in the beginning, it's just like which one you choose, which one you decide to pick. So one other thing that you can do when you make these posts, when you have these videos, you can also send them on email, right? It's like you're collecting name, number, email. So how can you maximize, because not everyone is going to be a person who logs into the school community or the Facebook group or the LinkedIn, right? There's going to be different types of users, different types of people. Some people are email people. Some people love, like, they're always on their email inbox and there's, like sometimes they keep refreshing if they have like OCD, right? That's just how it is, right? It's the type of person that they are. So you want to also cater to those because you're already putting in the work. And by the way, a lot of this, what you can do, you can just automate it on ChatGPT. You just put it, and we have all these examples. You can take that and be like to ChatGPT, hey, can you rewrite this for my specific industry or for my specific company and my company name? And then you can just like make it and just read a real quick post. It's pretty simple and easy, right? So I don't want this conversation to be like, oh, it's a lot of work, it's hard. No. Like it's very simple, it's very easy. You just got to do it, right? So that's what I would do, and then also just email people, right? So now you're hitting them on on the platform, which is a Facebook group or whatever, platform that you have this community in, and also on email. So now you're hitting them on 2 locations. And the third location you can do, and this is something you don't have to do every day, but SMS, right? So now you're also hitting them on SMS. And then if you want to go a little bit further, you're also DMing them on Facebook. So like Facebook Messenger, you're hitting them there. And then you're also hitting them you're picking up the phone and dialing them. There's 5 touch points, guys, right? Okay, everyone sees about, I think it's like 3,000 ads a day. So if you're hitting them 5 times, it's like, man, the chances of them seeing you just goes higher, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but like my phone we have like 200 active clients. And that's not including all the interviews we do. That's not including all the contractors we have, the employees we have. Like everyone's blowing my phone up, right? So it's like, these are the type of people, like, maybe my phone is a little bit more, it's an extreme example of how many notifications I get, but a lot of people have their hands in so many different apps and so many different things. They're getting so many notifications. So if we just message them once, or if we just hit them from one angle, what are the chances of them actually being there? That's why the show rate is low, right? So if you hit them from 5 different angles, for example, before they even show up to the call, well, they're like, man, these guys are right. It's consistency bias, right? The more consistent you are, even if, by the way, like this is a weird bias that we all have. It's like, even though if it's incorrect, as long as it's consistent, people are in their mind. They're like, oh, it must be right. You know what I mean? So it's a huge bias that we all have as human beings. So let's captivate on that, right? And of course, you guys are doing a great job to service other people and to change their lives as well. So let's send them that information versus the information that all the other garbage ads that they basically get. So hitting them on 5 different angles, 5 different platforms, and then now imagine if you have like an email or a post like every other day or every day if you can. And again, just use ChatGPT. You can just do it in advance. It takes like 20-30 minutes. If you spend 30 minutes a week, you can have like 5-6 different posts. And all you do, you can just even get a tool called, I think, Buffer, or there's other tools where you can just like automate that and just put it in, or have a VA do it. Again, just go to Moose Read, free VA for 45 days. Just have them do it, right? And then now your business is like pretty automated, right? You're getting the leads coming in, which is you just have to spend money on that. They're coming in. As long as they're coming in, you have the post going out. That part is pretty automated, right? It probably requires an hour a week, 2 hours a week max of your time to be able to indoctrinate them. Then you try to get them on a call, on a call with you. When you get them on a call, either with yourself or your closer, well, now they're already coming in from that frame of mind. They're already seen your stuff, right? Rifat, the VA company that we are partnered with is called Rocket, and we have a special deal with them. So you can get a free VA for 45 days, by the way. So, and if you choose to hire them after that, cool. But you get a free trial for 45 days. They'll find a VA for you, and you can train them. You can, however you want them to be.
You said it was
whatever you want.
VA, is that right?
A VA, yeah.
I'm sorry. What was it called again?
Rocket. You can just message your CSM inside of your Slack channel, and they'll just be able to guide you to that. Just hop on a quick call with them, and you'll be able to get one. So yeah, we're partnered with them on that. So for our clients, but yeah, does that all make sense? So the content and the delivery, since it's not only about having the content, but it's also about making sure you deliver the content to the people. Yeah. Cool. All right. So the next piece is getting these sales calls, right? Which is pretty much, Jennifer, is this all making sense? Cool. Perfect. Yeah. So the next piece is making sure you get the sales calls. So it's like, all right, how do we do that? Well, one of the, for example, one of the emails that we have, we always try to get them to book a call. For emails, you can go a little bit more aggressive, right? So, okay, the structure of the strategy that you guys will see that we use a lot is like our community or our private group is there to just make our brand look good. So we don't really ask too much. If the calendars are looking light, meaning we don't have much bookings, then yeah, we will ask like, hey, just book in a call. But instead, what we'll try to do is just give them free value. Let's just give them testimonials. Just give them like, hey, just look at this, look at that, look at this, right? Make us look good. The email is where we do the selling. Because like most people, email is a selling platform. So don't be afraid to have people book in a call, even every day if you have to, no problem, right? Personally, we do about 2 times a week or 3 times a week because our ads are really good. We just do a lot of auto bookings coming in. But if you're struggling with sales calls, and this is where you as a CEO make some of these decisions on how you want to run your business, right? If you want more calls, well, then you can just like turn up the heat on the email side of things and just make sure you're pushing people to book in a call every single day, if you have to, right? Or tone it down however you please to do that. So we have one very aggressive book a call. So it's like, hey, you want to work with us? Just like boom, usually a week or every 2 weeks. And then the other stuff is just value, or it's like a testimonial, or it's like objection handling, like I said, it's belief shifting, right? And then the main objective is to get them on a call, right? So it's like the way we do that is Facebook Messenger. It's pretty good, right? Facebook Messenger, we have their number too, so we hit them on text, or we just do an outbound call. We just call them and be like, hey, John, is this John? It's like, yeah. Hey, this is just Zarar from the Launch My Agency team. It's like, oh. And then, you can kind of take the conversation there, because they opted in, right? They gave you the number, so now you just pick up the phone and you dial it, right? They're already interested in what you have. And then you just do a set, so basically like a triage call, which is just to see, you just want to make sure that they're the right fit, that they're not living in their mom's basement, that they're a client that you would want to work with. If so, that's the discovery. So Rifa, this is where the discovery comes in, right? Do the discovery. And then you give them a couple more free resources, or like ideally your homework video. And this is something that we teach as well on how to do it. I've done a training on the homework video. You send them the homework video, they watch the homework video, and then you book them to the second call, which is going to be the closer call. And then, the sales process starts. You guys already know about the sales process. And that's how you run it. Any questions?
Say if you have a list, because I acquired one today, and of people that say you've been messaging or what have you, say you had a VA and they showed interest and then it became unseen, or they looked at it and didn't bother jumping on to make a call. Like, how would you suggest as far as the emails, like sending them 5 days straight, 7 days, 10 days, like sending different retargeting emails to them? Because I do have some retargeting emails. And then calling them up, because I do have some that have telephone numbers attached to it, even though that might be just their business line. Like I don't want it to seem where I'm being overly aggressive, but at the same time, it's like they saw that, like I saw that interest, because I can see some of the messages, back and forth, that I saw that interest. And then all of a sudden it's just like, when it goes to booking a day and time, they ghosted. So it's just.
Okay. I have a question though. Where did you get this list from?
People that we've been working with.
Oh, okay. So it's like
for lead generation. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's not like complete random people who are,
These are people that are actually in our niche.
So your main thing is people aren't booking. So like you do the conversation, they're actually responding. And then when it comes time to book, they're like, I'm good.
Yeah, it's like, hey, do you offer this? Yeah. Okay, well, this is our offer. Would you be interested in, talking to the CEO or whatever? Sure. And then how's Tuesday at 11? Cricket.
Yeah. It's always going to happen, by the way. It's never going to be 100%. But it's like, if you're clear on like what your percentage is, like out of how many people, if it's a big theme, then there's definitely there's definitely a constraint when it comes to either the way the messaging is done, where it's probably too needy. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. Or it's just like a fact that the motivation factor isn't there. For the motivation factor, that's where we have the content. That's where we have, that's where your offer again comes in, of where your unique mechanism, you are the best, most superior, most irresistible than anything that they have ever seen before. If you portray yourself like that, then of course in their mind, they're like, man, what is this? Like, I want to hop on. Let me just see what's going on. Right.
Yeah, so it could be either that. Do those retargeting emails, showing them that, it reverts them back to our landing page, or, so we can capture that and, again, or, to the website and stuff. But like how many emails are you talking? Like, should it just be for a week straight, 2 weeks every day? Like the first week every day, second week every other day, maybe 3 days that week, calling them also? getting back on social media?
Yeah, cadence, kind of depends. We do every day, every single day, because I mean, we have a pretty big list, so we do it every single day. What you could do is autoresponder. I think that's, I mean, for a lot of you guys, if you guys, I mean, you guys are, not everyone has a big team or, so I would just do an autoresponder. And the autoresponder is basically for any new lead that comes in, they're automatically getting this whole concept, right? So the leads, they would just, I mean, all the emails, Joanna, that you sent, especially the ones, if you can take a look, the one that has high open rates, the one that has higher engagement, you want to take that, put it into your autoresponder, and just get people to book in a call, right? Just for email, you can get aggressive. Just, it's a selling platform. If they want to unsubscribe, they can unsubscribe, no problem. We actually have a KPI of 15 that we want 15 people to unsubscribe from our list. Because we don't, I mean, we're not here to just, we're not a nonprofit, right? Like, you know what I mean? We're a business, and just the same thing goes for all you guys. It's like, if someone wants to unsubscribe, cool, good. It just saves their time, saves your time. So I would get aggressive with specifically emails and just have an autoresponder. And the way the autoresponder is, I mean, again, you can take your best emails, or if you want some ideas or structure on how to write the autoresponder, it's very simple, right? So it's, remember, like, the landing page with a VSL or like your marketing material, it's the same stuff, right? So the first one, here's what the offer is. Just book in your call. Make it simple, guys. For emails, simplicity is everything. Don't get creative. Trust me. Like, email people are just used to, what's the point? What's your spiel, right? It's like, 4 or 5, it doesn't have to be super long for email, just boom, direct. So you can have that. So the next one could be living proof, right? It's like, hey, here's how it's worked for me. Here's my story with it. Book in a call. Next one, social proof. Here's how it's worked with 3, 4 of my other clients. Here's what they've done. You want results like this? Book in your call. Next, now you can go a little bit into each piece of the offer. So remember how like we teach you guys on positioning your offer in 3 or 4 different pieces. Pillars. You take your first pillar. You explain that. Here's my structure. Book in a call. Second pillar, book in a call. Third pillar, explain it, book in a call. Fourth pillar, same thing. Then you can have another email where it just kind of, with all the pillars. It's like, here's boom, 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 book in a call. And then from there, hey, here, I was watching this video. I think you can really relate. If someone is, for example, if they're ghosting, now you can have a video that is specifically on how successful people operate their life and they do what they say. Right? You told me you wanted to call. You're not booking in, right? Indirectly, it's just like, shit, I should book it, right? Send them. They'd be like, hey, just watch this video. Thought I'd provide you value. YouTube thing, boom, send them that. What you're doing is they're now going to start looking forward to Joanna's emails. You become like this little celebrity. It's hilarious, right? It's like you become this little celebrity, and people are like, where's her email? Like they're just waiting for it, right? And then you can have a funny angle. You can have people to try to respond back to it. So you're, and this is advanced stuff of like to try to get your emails, make sure that they don't land in the spam, they actually are being delivered, right? But that's really the cadence, right? So you can have all these as autoresponders. And then you can have the broadcast, which is like, that's the daily email that you can send. So you can have the first like 21 days or 30 days even. And that's really all you need, right? Once you start spending a lot of money, then you really need to do like a lot more stuff. Because then, your ad costs are really, really high. But in the beginning, if you guys can like just write 30 emails and just have it an autoresponder, now you don't even have to worry about that stuff. And every email is just like book in your call, fill out the application. Just change up the words a little bit, right? Like, hey, speak to my team, or speak to myself directly, speak to my partnership director, speak to my right-hand man. That's like 4 different ways. It's the same sales call. It's just slightly different verbiage. Just get creative, right? A big part of being an entrepreneur is being very creative, right? So that's what I would do for emails.
I've gone back and kind of, because I've archived some emails that I actually liked that people sent me from different things. Like you guys sent a few, other businesses that have sent a few to me. And I'm like, oh, I like the way they wrote that. Yeah. And I've used some of those in emails. And 100%. I got responses. I actually used one the other day on retargeting another client that, kind of turned us down because of funding reasons. And I came in more of a friend approach. Come to find out they filed Chapter 11 and everything. But I came in under that approach and I actually got a response back, and they've been ghosting me ever since our demo call.
Yeah, you'll always be ghosted. No matter what. That's just what it's going to be. That's just the market we live in. If they all had what they, what they wanted, they wouldn't be on a call with you. They're hurting. They need things. Don't take it personally. And I know, it's hard sometimes, especially in the beginning, but we're at a point where we're just like, we understand that's life and that's just what it is. And you can only control the controllables, right? You can only control the things that you can input. Whatever happens, even like I tell my sales reps all the time, whether or not you close a deal is irrelevant to me. Even if you close, I don't care. But what I care about is the leading indicators. What was the inputs you put in, my friend, right? Did you do everything that you could? Yes or no? If you did, that's all that matters. Because we know on a long enough time horizon, you will get the results that you're looking for. That's it. That's being an entrepreneur. It's taking self-accountability and self-responsibility of your own business. Jennifer?
So I have a question about, I'm a little bit all over the place. So originally when I wanted the timing is wound up working good, but when I wanted this, it was to help me monetize my group and create, and like, I guess I'm still kind of stuck on what my offer should be. And that's where I still am, I guess, feel like I'm circling around, not knowing how to put those out into posts to my group. But now something has kind of happened with the client that I have, and we're looking at a group model for trying to bring in leads for his home services business. So now I'm trying to figure out, do I just get into groups and create curiosity and build a name for him and then or should I create another, like his own group?
So, okay, well, the main thing is he wants leads, right? He wants book calls.
Yeah, he didn't. He had no success. He had no success in advertising.
But what do you mean by no success? What does that mean?
So he ran PPC with another company. He left them. He came to me. We ran his ads for 3 months, and he had somebody else running his Meta ads for 3 months, and he got 0 leads.
0 leads? Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, Facebook group structure can be there. Is he willing to do like some sort of live stream or some sort of like personally hopping on and like, kind of indoctrinating people?
That's what I probably have to coach him on doing something like that, which is why I was thinking of starting him in other people's groups so that we can try to start getting the lead flow coming in. And then once he sees that it's working, then create a group, like, because I've already talked to him about personal branding and that, we could build a website that would branch off, because he's a lead aggregator. So he has, lots of different verticals. He has, solar, he has jacuzzi, he has home, bathroom remodeling, there's windows and doors, there's all kinds of different businesses that are offshoots to what he does.
Yeah. I would just suggest like probably just focusing in on like his main one if he wants to, because like the Facebook group model can be like specifically, I mean, even the name can be like, lead generation for what's one of the verticals that he's in for home remodelers or something like that?
Solar. Bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Specific, like being a little specific. I would just personally do that unless.
But with that, then, so he needs customers that are ready to do that remodel or ready for solar. So he's not looking for clients. He has plenty of clients. He needs leads for those clients.
Oh, okay. He needs leads. So it's his. Wait, so you're working with a coach? Yeah, you're in the coaching space, right? A little bit. So you're working with another agency that's going to be doing this.
So no. So he doesn't fit into my niche. He is a lead aggregator. So his offer is I'll pay for all the advertising up front and then you pay me on the back end. So he takes 10% of like a bathroom remodel. But
that's pretty smart. Okay, I understand.
It is, but he's gotten no leads to actually convert. Okay,
well, I mean, just if his objective is just to send leads, and Facebook group model can be pretty good, or maybe just even a direct VSL of like, here's what the offer is, and just book in people, and then you can get paid on the leads or the applications or the booked calls that are coming in from there. So either or can definitely either or.
I'm trying to understand how that would look, how to lay that out and propose that.
Like, I mean, it's literally like what I explained, right? So it's like, hey, we'll run your Facebook ads, we'll help you with the VSL. So he'll shoot the VSL, right? Which is like the video sales letters, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, a direct offer. this is what I would do if he's like if he just sells leads, is a lot easier versus going in the Facebook group and like, that one is more for you guys probably because like, again, you are part, like this is your brand, this is your company. But if he's just selling leads or he's just trying to give leads out, a quicker way, and he can scale that a lot higher, right? Because if he's getting paid per lead, it's important that he generates a lot of leads. And with the Facebook group model, you kind of get capped at about 150K a month, by the way, just FYI. Because there's a lot of operational complexity that comes in. You're dealing with Facebook's algorithm. Like there's a lot of things I can go into later. But for something like that, I would personally just run a VSL model. Whereas like for you, you're going to help him with acquiring the right type of leads coming in using Facebook ads. For Facebook ads, you're going to set up, you're going to create, you're going to write, and you're going to manage all the Facebook ads for him, right? So you're going to get the right type of traffic coming in. You're going to build him a landing page. From there, you're going to help him with a VSL. This is the structure of it. He just needs to shoot the VSL. And based on the VSL, based on the script, we're going to write the ad, we're going to write the copy of it. And we don't have to, but if this is something that if you choose to do, you can charge more for that as well, of where you can, write the words for the landing page. And now you just send traffic to that and get opt-ins, name, number, email, and he can either send those opt-ins to these people, like to the different sources that he's selling to. And that's from there, that's on him, on how he does that. But you're just going to be able to help him with building that ecosystem of leads or applications or booked calls coming in, whichever one he prefers. And yeah, the rest is how he runs his business there. So you're responsible for all, from the front end all the way to getting whatever he wants.
Okay, but that sounds like what we just did for him.
Okay, so
we
what
didn't have
the issue?
It was the VSL. It was a landing page. I wasn't running Facebook, but I was running PPC, and all the leads were going into his CRM. But he said literally every one of the leads was nothing was a viable lead. They were either disconnected numbers, people that yelled at him and said that they never filled out a form, they never completed the paperwork, or they were people looking for jobs.
Okay, well, that doesn't mean that PPC doesn't work, because like Facebook or like Google it's just a platform, right? So what it means is there's a disconnect between the offer. Like it's never like that's what people think is a Facebook issue or Google. No, it's not. It's an offer issue or it's a marketing. It's how we package it up. That's the issue, right? Because the right type of people, if they see it, they're like, yeah, I need that. Right? So it's just a matter of us figuring out that proper messaging, that proper offer. This is something that Jennifer, you can also help him with. Is like, we're going to help you package your offer and your marketing material in a way where it's cold audience ready or it's cold traffic ready, right? Because converting to cold traffic it's hard, but you just use some of the frameworks and the structure and the strategies that we use here. Just help him out with positioning himself as that, and PPC will work. Again, it's not a matter of it working or not. It's an algorithm, right? You're just using it. So if it doesn't work, it's just a matter of the words weren't right. It didn't hit the right type of audience. It's a skill set issue. That's it.
Okay. I guess I don't know where to go with that though. So
submit the ad campaigns and like the stuff, or like maybe make a quick Loom video, just tag me, I'll personally review it. And 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be a little bit of the marketing. There's some sort of disconnect there for sure. I can almost guarantee that. Or if it's not that, then there's something off with the media buying side of things, or whether it's like the proper audience wasn't targeted. For example, I'll give you an example. On Facebook specifically, Facebook will recommend you sending traffic to the landing page. That's the worst thing you can ever do. Why? Because you are optimizing just to send people to a landing page. Well, who cares about so much traffic on a landing page? We care about conversions. We care about money in the bank, right? So instead, using conversions in Facebook, right, optimizing for that is like, look, I want to close clients versus just sending clients, right? So it's like understanding that Facebook, I don't know why they recommend, maybe they're just incompetent, of just like sending traffic to it versus sending conversions so you can actually get the client, the leads, or the money that, close the deals, is a lot more beneficial than just sending traffic. So a lot of people will make a mistake. They may have their offer ready, they may have everything's perfect, but the optimization that they're doing is just traffic. It's like, what are we doing? We're just sending people we're optimizing just to send people to a landing page. What's the point of that? So right? So it could be an issue there too.
Is what we're talking here just the lack of optimization to what he's offering? Is that what it really comes down to? Isn't that what cans and isn't that what they do?
I think I'm not sure of this specific client, but I think they were doing it themselves. But I'm just saying, like, if something's not working based on what you,
and they
yeah.
audited his account and they gave him a month free. So like, just
Who was doing the marketing, Jennifer?
I have my white label is that company.
Okay, so that company are they running the ads for him?
Yes.
They wrote the ads and they're running the ads and they're optimizing his
For PPC, yeah, and somebody else was running his Meta, and she got no leads for him either.
Okay,
she had the exact same problems, and so did the PPC company that ran before we ran.
Okay,
same
so
exact problem.
Zorar, I'll ask you the question then, so that you can answer. So, is the problem then with the provider, with the people that are running the ads and optimizing? Is that where the issue is, the bottleneck?
No, the issue is in
Yeah,
the amount of touch points to the actual conversion page and the call to action.
Correct. So whoever's writing the ads needs to write better ads, correct? So it's optimization of whoever's providing that service to him, correct? Sorry?
what I mean, hypothetic, like high level, based on just what we know, yes. But it could also be like, how much have they spent? If they spent like $50, it's like, because some people literally, I spent $100, like, it didn't work.
Well, let's assume.
Like,
let's assume they're spending $1,000 a month, like we're all supposed to, $5 to $8,
$50 a day.
How much?
50 a day.
50 a day.
It's going to give him some sort of result, like some sort of direction of like, hey, here's the soft stats. At least if he's not getting a close client, it's like, at least here's the soft stats, and then you can make a decision based on that, whether or if something's working or not.
So $50 a day isn't that a good ad spend to get some leads?
Depends on the niche, depends on the industry. If you're targeting like plastic surgeons, probably not. $50 is nothing.
Oh no,
But if you're
I
targeting,
understand that, but
yeah,
it seems to me that the problem isn't whoever's writing the ads.
I wound up putting Hotjar on it and ClickCease because he kept saying they were bots, or like I said, the numbers were disconnected. Like nothing seems to make sense. I've called the numbers myself too, and they're nothing. They don't reach a person.
What's his industry type?
That's industry.
Home services, bathroom remodeling.
Home service, bathroom, and remodeling.
It seems like the targeting is off or something.
Yeah. So
yeah. Why not try Facebook ads for that?
All right.
He did. Like I said, he was running PPC and Meta, but just not with me. He was running Meta with somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, if both didn't work, it's probably the agency or whoever's working.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to say. But what do I know, right?
yeah, first thing I would try to figure out is calculate the actual like average CPA of that industry type. Just so you have like a basis of where you should ideally like measure your control on how much you should be spending to get your actual conversions. So you can give him a better like input on like what he should be spending for his desired outcome.
So Jennifer, why not him use you then to use cans through you or some other vendor to build maybe new ads?
Well, that's why he wants to abandon ads and he wants to go the group model.
But he wants to abandon ads because it didn't work with that other company. It doesn't mean that some other company won't work.
So far, it hasn't worked with 3 companies for him.
Wow.
It may be a him issue. It could be a him issue too. Business owner sucks. It's hard being in business. You got to wear so many different hats.
Yeah, there are, but he's not the one writing the ads. He's not the one targeting the campaign.
Well, here's the thing. If he's going after so many different niches, so many different industries, I mean, it could work. But I wouldn't run a business like that.
Maybe he needs to niche down.
No, he is niche down though. It's only bathroom remodeling. He was trying to bring this in for one client. And so we had a landing page that was created for him. He actually lost his budget for that client. His client fired me. But he wants to continue to work together. And that's why he wants to go, how do we do this organically? How do we do it where, it doesn't cost anything? Because his son is in pest control in Arizona, and his son uses BNI groups and Facebook groups. And that's where he just ran $1 million pest control business in the last year. And so he's tasking me with, how do I duplicate what my son is doing? And I'm like, okay, let's try to figure out how to put that together.
Well, if he wants to just run organic like that, then just like go into, again, what his son is doing, just have a call with him and just kind of like try to restructure it there. Or what they can do is like look for other groups. I'm sure there's something out there that is similar in the industry. Put a VA in there, just get all these people coming into your to his group, and just have the content, the same structure that I just explained there.
That's very interesting. 3 vendors and they haven't gotten any leads. There's something way off from what I'm hearing on this side.
Cool. All right, guys. I do have to run. I have another meeting coming up. But if there's anything else, Jennifer, if you want to drop that video or whatever, happy to do so. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right.
Gerard, did you cut yourself shaving? What happened on the left side?
No, I have something called alopecia. So it's yeah. Stress.
I've seen that before.
Welcome to being a business owner, right?
Hey, listen, you still look handsome, bro. So have a good day.
Thank you. That's all that matters. All right, take care.